Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach, 𝐓𝐘𝐒. Today I'm here to talk about a simple concept, and it's the folly of oversimplification. You know, things don't need to be complicated. We certainly like simplicity, but things should be simplified to a point, but not more simplified than what they really are. And the problem that I'm having often in the ADD world, people just want simple answers. It makes some sense when you think about it, because ADHD is more of a thinking impairment than most you realize. Bottom line, thinking's impaired, you'd rather not think. Just give me the simple answer. It kind of makes some sense, right? However, if you're succumbing to that, sometimes things are just more complicated. And the oversimplification of stuff will actually have you paying attention to the wrong thing. Let me give you an example. I said earlier, ADHD is a thinking impairment. Okay, so I get a lot of people saying, I need to make a plan. I need to make a plan. If you listen to my channel, I've said much of procrastination is rooted in ambiguity. There's a correlation between uncertainty and avoidance. So here's what happens. A person with ADHD is oblivious to this. They need to make a plan. They've been told to make the plan. If they just make the plan, it'll make things happen. So they schedule on Thursday to write a blog. They put it into their little calendar. They've scheduled it. They've made a plan. Thursday comes and goes, but they don't write the blog. Why? Because ADHD is a thinking impairment. You know what a blog is, but you don't exactly know what you're going to say in a way that people are going to want to read. Bottom line is Thursday comes and goes, and it requires a lot of effortful thinking. And so you don't. You end up doing some other things. So the folly of oversimplification is that it's inferred that the plan is actually going to do the thinking for you when it doesn't. It misdirects our attention. Again, it misdirects our attention. The core problem is thinking. The planner is an aid to help you think. But by the way it's spun, we misunderstand that the planner is actually going to do the work. Again, this is the folly of oversimplification. There's a lot of people out there who don't really like my channel because I try to get to the core issue of it. I'm grateful for many of you, particularly the ones who come to me like, oh my God, this guy kind of gets it. I mean, those make my day. I mean, I just love those because I'm sitting here sometimes is that like, you know, sometimes guys, this is a little bit more complicated than you think it is. Just like I'm gonna do a video next on what my #1 tip is for procrastination. It's like, there is no tip. It's got a problem solve. Identify what's ambiguous, figure it out. Or my #1 tip is get some help. It's kind of implied and obvious, right? But anyway, needless to say, is that when you're out there in the world and you're dealing with ADHD, be careful, be mindful of these 5 things that you do for 5 minutes that will solve the problem each day. Or I have time blindness. Again, by the way, time's a thinking impairment. The clock doesn't actually manage the time for you. Again, we're oversimplifying things too much. Don't get dragged into that if you've got the challenge. Do the work and try to figure those things out. Hopefully my channel will help. If you're new to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you're an existing person, thoughts. Do you like this stuff? I hope you do. Also, we do what we do for you. Any contribution by hitting the thanks button would certainly be appreciated and very motivating. So with that, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.